Hello, this is Ryan from NowGamer.
And this is Adam.
And this is Payday 2, which we both played, but you've reviewed.
I have reviewed.
So talk about it. I'm just going to sit back and listen.
Well, it's brilliant.
Job done.
That's it. Let's
Review
go home.
over.
Job done. For those of you who don't know, Payday is kind of like Left 4 Dead, but more to do with heists and things like that. So you get a lot of random assaults, but your basically your objective is to get as much money as you can.
And that varies depending on the level. Sometimes you have to be securing coke, like in the video you're seeing here. Other times you have to rob a bank. It really depends. It changes a lot.
Yeah, there's jewelry stores, painting some museums, things like that. It's quite varied actually. It's one of the things I think is better about this than the original. There's quite a lot more things to do, and even within those levels, how you go about them has changed as well. So you can do stealth now. You can choose to go through the back and blow off the door with C4. You can go all in and shoot everyone you see on sight.
I mean, that's the thing to remember with this, is even though you'll probably see a lot of shooting in these videos, you can stealth each level. I think every single heist in the game you can pull off stealthily. It's just very difficult to do. And when you get spotted, that's when the gunfire begins, because the police come in, and then it's kind of like backs against the wall sort of deal.
Yeah, and it's kind of part of the problem of the game, is that it does require people knowing what they do. So if you're playing with a bunch of idiots online, and let's face it, that's going to happen.
Which you normally will be.
Yeah. You're going to have to rely on someone to do their job properly, and inevitably someone won't.
And it is a game that very much depends on how good your teammates are. Well, I mean, we've both been playing this quite a lot. And there's been a wide variety of people playing it. When you play it with a good bunch of guys who know what they're doing and stick to the objectives and work as a team, it's brilliant. If you're playing with an idiot who just runs off, does his own thing, it's not as enjoyable.
One of the things that I really like about it is actually something you'll see a lot of people picking up sacks of, well, anything really. Usually it's full of gold or cash or something, but it's really cool because you have to then take that to whatever escape vehicle you have. That in itself is perhaps not very exciting, but obviously how you do that and how you go about that with your teammates kind of pieces everything together. So you can either choose to bunny hop each other the cash over walls and things like that, or you can choose to take it over as a big group. And when you get a good team together working to move it all carefully and properly, that's when it's good.
Yeah, because the other thing that's worth mentioning as well is sometimes a level, well, I say sometimes, a level layout always changes. So key items will be in different areas, such as saves. Sometimes there'll be an area that's fenced off that wasn't fenced off previously. And the idea is that you adapt to these random elements fairly quickly.
Yeah, spawn points for the enemies are the same as well.
Yeah, it's worth quickly mentioning as well, if you're not planning on playing this online or with other people, it's almost completely pointless because the AI of your teammates is terrible.
Yeah, well, there were a couple of times when we were playing when someone would drop out and they'd fill it with the AI person. You might as well just play with 3 people rather than 4.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just that the experience is bad, it's that it's almost impossible because, for example, in the jewelry store heist, you have to take bags of the escape van. And I think on the higher difficulties, you have to take 8 over, which is like, okay, 4 members of your team, that's effectively 2 runs. But your AI teammates don't pick up any bags at all, so you've got to take all 8 yourself. It's
and
just
they always
impossible.
get in the way, and they never know what they're doing.
They're idiots. I mean, people on Xbox Live randoms are idiots, but the AI really is just stupid.
I'm not sure which I prefer, Xbox Live idiots or AI idiots. Probably Xbox Live idiots.
Yeah, I mean, one doesn't insult your mum and one doesn't pick up bags. Like, pick your poison. This last video we're ending on, by the way, is it's like the perfect heist. And well, I say it's the perfect heist. By that I mean the police don't get called in. There's still a lot of shooting people in the face and whatnot.
I should add that I'm not actually in this one.
No, you weren't. You'd left by this point.
But it was very impressive. You told me all about it.
I was very pleased.
Yeah,
I'm smiling now watching this back.
This is the thing, though. It is a game where it's all about kind of perfecting your run, like Left 4 Dead is really, and knowing how to overcome certain situations and use that to your advantage.
Yeah.
And leveling up is a big part, and although it can be a bit of a grind, knowing how to do that and put it all together is when you get really perfect runs.
Yeah, another thing just want to quickly mention, this is the Xbox 360 version, and it does look pretty horrendous. I mean, you can probably tell it doesn't look great here, but it's not a looker at all.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't really affect it because obviously it's all about the gameplay. But yeah, you get a lot of areas that are just kind of square grey blocks, and it's just not very interesting.
Ugly textures, a bit of screen tearing.
Yeah, I didn't install it to the hard drive on my Xbox as well, and I noticed it stuttered quite a bit then. Don't know if you had that, but
well, what I did was I installed it initially, saw the textures were bad, and I thought it might have been like one of these Halo loads longer when you've got it installed deals, like one of those weird things where installing it hurts the game's performance.
yeah.
So I uninstalled it, and it just doesn't look great. It's just not a nice looking game.
Yeah,
But
it doesn't
it's
matter.
very, very, very good.
Yeah,
Lots of good fun.
If you have a group of friends that you play Xbox with a lot, I'd recommend this to everyone because it really is a very good co-op game.
Yeah, I mean, to me, Left 4 Dead's one of my favourite games this gen because of the co-op stuff. And I just feel like this is kind of, I wouldn't say the evolution of it, but the same sort of thing where it's very cooperative, kind of random in its nature as well, but in a good way that you can't.
Yeah, it's more of just a twist on it, really. And I think it's cool. I think everyone can kind of get on board with this.
Yeah. And again, the perfect heist. You won't get this too often playing with randoms because you always have one guy who runs off and shoots everything and sets off every alarm and
then
gets spotted by
doesn't
the
help
cameras.
anyone when you help them out.
No. But yeah, it's a really good game.
Go on, buy it.
I'll get right on fencing this.